It's a bit hard for me. Okay.
Oh, I just got the notification.
All right, team. How's everybody doing today? This is yours truly, the James Cardoza, with Tisha and Callie. It's going to be a really great conversation. Tisha's going to be explaining this very special event she has coming up. So if you're watching, seeing, listening, I appreciate you. Tisha, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I've had a really good week. I've had an up and down week, but for the most part, it's been a blessing. And we were just chatting today about success and failure, and how James was actually mentioning that. So Coca-Cola, which is one of like the biggest distributors of cola, obviously, in the world, in their first year, they only sold one can of Coke. So most people probably would have been like, well, this sucks, and maybe stopped, right? But they didn't, obviously, and that's why Coca-Cola is so big, right? And another example I actually was thinking of is I think it's Thomas Edison, right? He's the one that did the light bulb. Yeah. So he found 10,000 different ways, 9,999 ways that a light bulb does not work, right? So we were going to kind of talk a little bit about that. But one of the events that I'm hosting a little, it's called Surrender to Your Success. And the reason we called it Surrender to Your Success versus usually people call theirs like a 5-day challenge, we're calling it a 5-day workshop that Surrender to Your Success, because there's so many times in life where it feels like things are like a challenge, right? Like, let's do this 30-day challenge, 5-day challenge. We got to cram everything in 5 days. And so really this is just a way for individuals, especially individuals with a side hustle or a small business, to understand that foundation for their money, right? Because I think, the truth is most businesses, what is one of their purposes? Is to create more prosperity, to create more money. And I would say, I'm speaking for the US, and I'm sure for Australia over there too, Callie, is that a lot of us are not actually educated on how money works. Like, how do you actually make your money grow, right? Like, we're taught exactly how to make money, but we're not really like educated on where we put it. And so most of us put our money in the bank because that's what's safe, right? But there are different places where you can put your money so that it does grow. There are different techniques and strategies. So this whole 5-day Surrender to Your Success workshop is all about that. And again, it's catered to small business owners, and it's catered to people that have side hustles or that want to have a side hustle. And even if you're somebody that doesn't have a business and want to just really take a hold of your finances, this is definitely for you. It's on what month are we in? October 18th. It's in our group, so we'll post the group link here. And every day we are going live for about an hour, and it's going to be a very deep dive again on building prosperity, and it's going to be really, really good. So you definitely don't want to miss out. But I think we're going to kind of shift from here and talk about, I think it's really interesting because I don't know how many times I have tried and failed a lot of things, like a lot of things. I've been an entrepreneur my entire life, and I think that sometimes we think that failure is our foe, right? Like, is an enemy. But I think that failure is just a fancy way to get feedback, to understand how to pivot and how to come up with the different strategy. And as I look at my life and I look back, I'm like, oh, never would have thought I would end up in finances, right? But how I ended here was from a ton of feedback, and pivoting and learning and growing and falling forward. And it's kind of what I have to say on that.
I love that, because from your story maybe a month and a half ago, about that story with the car and the tires, and then you just went for yes for the yes all the time. Yes, I can afford this. Yes, I am getting new tires. Like basically following. But then your childhood stories where I can't remember if you were selling the lemonade. I can't remember what it was, the lemons. I can't remember now, but I remember you telling the story. So like you are in the right niche. Like your financial journey was from when you were little, like from what I remember you sharing. And I'm like, just hearing you say like, this is your purpose, because it is your purpose. You're amazing at it. Like even your other challenge that you did for the first time recently, like that was incredible. You had your 2 team members with you and you were full of joy and energy and really serving people to get the maximum out of your challenge. And like it was incredible. So anyone watching this next challenge I'm in, and it's at 4 a.m. for me in Australia, and even I'm going to wake up for that because I know how valuable you are and how much you bring and give to people to help them thrive. So I'm definitely coming along. And yeah, around the success, when you were talking about Coca-Cola and the 1 can, I was thinking the lady with the Spanx in America. She wrote the book, I think it's called Believe, or something along that lines. And she took 6 years before someone would take her product up and run with it. She never gave up. The longer she went into the 6 years of no one wanting her product or even to look at it, no one will want those. And then around the 6-year mark, I'm pretty sure it was around 6 years, she finally got them interested, and she'd talked to them maybe a year or 2 early, and they would definitely anti it, this product. And eventually Oprah took the product and the product went boom, and the lady's a billionaire to this day. And she was only in her like middle 20s, late 20s, around that age. And yeah, so I just think that's, if Coke had given up on that 1 year with the 1 can, like look how much money they make worldwide, how big they are. And so, we've got to start somewhere, haven't we? Like I've got to start somewhere. Like I was sharing with you before, my e-wallet for NG, the platform I'm in, is $30, like, for my first year. And that's not much. Some people would probably give up if they're not really earning any money, but it has so many other benefits that I won't give it up. I'm not giving that away, because it's not about the money. It's about the experience and the value I bring to the table there and what I receive there. And that's what you give. Like, it's not even about the money of how much I'm going to earn out of this success with you for 5 days. It's about the whole experience that I'm going to have with you. You're incredible, Tisha. You're just so full of love for people, and your energy is incredible. And just to spend my time with you, that to me is a benefit. Like that's the value. So yeah, I'm going to your challenge even at 4 a.m. I'm looking forward to it.
Right on, guys. Yeah, no, that's exciting. I definitely looking forward to the event. Also, I think it's very interesting when we think about, why do people not quit generally, right? Like why do some people give up? Why do some people not give up? I think it has to do with more than just the reward, but the process. So it's kind of like, say, imagine you already have it, but I think the important thing is to have the same feeling as if you already have it during the process of getting it, right? Like everything you do, be as excited about it as if you already had it. But yeah, so that's why it's really important. People say if you could find something that you love to do. I think another big thing that people could do, I saw this once, is you should have 3 hobbies. One that makes you money, one that's for your health, and one that's for your intelligence, or it could be spiritual. Just 3 hobbies that are beneficial for yourself. And then I think the one about hobby making money is a good one for a lot of people to just even think about. Like, you're already doing something. You're probably doing something people find valuable. might as well share, even if it's consulting. Everybody should have at least a consulting business, I think, because then you can have the write-offs, taxes. But also, what we don't realize is that we're always focusing on other people's strengths. We're always giving value to the gifts other people have, without even realizing we have gifts and natural talents and abilities. And we kind of forget about looking at ourselves sometimes and how much value we bring to the table. And the things that people are like, wow, I didn't know that, and would probably pay for it. There's something that we can do that people would pay for. So why not find it? Have fun doing it.
Yeah, I love that. And when you said hobbies, then sometimes we want to go bigger than we're ready for. And so just having that, like we're talking about finances, and I know they talk about the M1, M2, M3. So the M1's your normal job, the M2 you're investing, and then the M3 I think is that passive income time for money sort of thing. And so even a hobby, even if that's a side piece to your normal 9-to-5 job or whatever job you're doing, that hobby then builds as you grow and expand and enjoy it as and appreciate it and value it as your outside thing away from work. And then it gets to a point where it's so big it becomes your job.
Yeah.
It may take 6 years like this lady with her Spanx, but then other times it could take 2 years like Coca-Cola. By the second year, keep going. So you just don't know, but you might as well enjoy the experience as you're going along. Because we're only here a short time. It's all about the experience.
That is so true. And I think sometimes we get so caught up and wanting to like make that transition so smoothly or so quickly that we forget to make it smoothly, like how you're saying. Because I've had times where I've done this before too, where I had left something too soon because I didn't allow that thing that side hustle to really flourish. And so I thought that was so beautifully put. How you put that is you can still work your 9-to-5 or whatever that is, your normal thing, and build on the side. And then you could build it on the side without stress, And then at that point, when you've put enough love and you've put enough time and energy into it, then that takes over the other thing, right? At some point.
Well, what's funny too is I would recommend in the process of doing this, I would highly recommend that whatever people decide to do, that they find somebody, at least one other person, to collaborate with, but not somebody in the exact same field, but somebody in a connective field, right? So like, for example, 2 industries, real estate and mortgage. It benefits them to have friends in both fields. So I think if you had a business you were starting, think about who your customer would be and think about other products they buy and associate with someone like that you two could have the same goal, but with it's like 2 trees.
That is a really good tip for like building business, James. Like so good because like for me, for example, actually, so Callie is asking tax questions. So that's a good partnership for me, is finding somebody that's like an expert in taxes to be able to collaborate with, because the clients that we have would be very similar clients. We could refer clients back and forth, but I definitely see that.
Well, people prefer third-party approvals over. People would rather hear someone else tell them how great you are, not you tell them how great you are. A little more value, I guess. That's why Yelp is so popular.
Yeah, it pays to collaborate with people because that's what we're here for. We're here to learn or have the experience of connection, no matter whether it's a business or any kind of relationship, or a relationship with our money, or a relationship with the value of what it really means, like the energy, the whole thing, like it doesn't matter what kind of relationship, it's all about the connection. But we've sort of learnt growing up, or I have, where some connections you can't trust and other connections you can, even in your own little family dynamics. you're told you're not enough, you're told you are enough by one family member, and the other family member treats you the total opposite. And you're constantly in this, which one is it? And you've got to come back into trusting your own value. And that's why Tisha's teaching something that's really valuable, because even though it's about finances, she's actually teaching people how to reconnect to their internal value. And that's why this challenge is perfect for me as well. And so I've got this question that keeps coming up, because a friend of mine was sharing a thing in Canada that I can join in, like a crowdfunding. And I don't know if you, Per, can answer this, and I don't expect you to, but I'm just putting it out there because it's crowdfunding, but I'm in Australia, but you're crowdfunding for yourself, where you go into it with a certain amount of money, you get 3 friends, they come into it with the same amount of money. It's only small, and it builds, but it passes it forward. Part of it passes it forward to the person above, right? Now, I don't want to say it's a pyramid because I'm not up on all that stuff, but I think they could be illegal in Australia. And here I am not knowing everything, but someone said to me, it's actually a donation, like a pay it forward donation from the person before. They call it a donation, crowdfunding. Does donation pay tax?
Charities don't pay taxes.
That's a really good question. I wonder if that's how they get around it, because it is considered a donation. So I actually never, because I've heard of that, but I never related it to the tax question. And so now my mind's like, interesting.
Yeah, see,
but
this is what I want to know, because that becomes an e-wallet, because it has to go into one of those. It goes through crypto, I think, and then into your bank account. But supposedly it's a donation because you just pay once, and the 3 under you pay once and 3 under them.
Yeah.
Isn't that? And then I was told it's because it's crowdfunding, it's called donation.
Sounds like a pyramid.
Yeah. And pyramids, I'm pretty sure, are illegal in Australia. So
Yeah,
if it isn't,
they're illegal in the US too. The only way it's not a pyramid is if there's an exchange of product. So
okay, this is just money.
Yeah,
But
all
it's
yeah,
called
that makes
crowdfunding.
sense. Yeah.
Crowdfunding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it was like I think that's what people were doing with trading. I think that was the original pyramid, is that, let's say, hey, Kelly, give me $20,000 and I'll invest it for you. And I'll show you profit. I get 5 other people and give me $20,000. Hey, 5 other people, give me $20,000 and I'll invest it for you. I take their money to show you a profit, but convince you to keep the money in the bank. So everybody's keeping their money in the bank while I'm showing you false profits that are brought in by new investors. So that's how the original pyramid was with that stock or whatever.
Well, this isn't actually investing anything. This is just
Well,
you
that's
put
the thing.
one small amount
money,
in and the other 3. So you're really paying the person beneath you up, like a donation. They call it crowdfunding.
Yeah. Well, it even looks like a pyramid, right? So one person, 3, and they all have 3, and it's even shaped like a pyramid.
But then everyone tells me that even network marketing's everything's like that shape. You sell to the net.
Yeah, but
then
usually
there's a product, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a product. There's a product, and also there's like ways of getting promoted without being the top salesperson or bringing people in. Like a CEO of a company doesn't have to get people to sign up; they just sell products. There's no membership required or anything.
Yeah, so I just put it out there. I'm curious. So if anyone listening to this has any information on that or finds out and wants to put it in the comments later, that would be awesome.
That would be interesting. Yeah, learn about. I kind of feel like that's what crypto. I mean, I don't know nothing about crypto, but I kind of feel like that's what that is, because the value is based on people buying into it or not. So the more people buy into it, the more the money goes up. But as soon as somebody sells, it drops. I don't know about cryptocurrency. It just seems like that seems to be the truth.
It's also similar in a way to the market.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah, which I don't know about either.
Yeah, but crowdfunding, to spin it a little, there is a couple of really awesome crowdfunding websites. I guess they're websites, apps. There's one called iWoman. So where you can come up with a project and you can have people actually invest in your project or your idea. It's really, really cool. And there's this other one, oh my gosh, it's an actual app. And what I like about it too is that I've been wanting to do something with Prosperity Sisters, but we haven't. But what I'll do is I'll go onto the app, and times that I am giving a portion of my income, I'll find a project that I really like, and then I'll donate to it. Oh, it's called Backpackers. But the way it works is really cool. So let's just say collectively, we wanted to, I don't know, start a business, and we're like, we need 100 grand. So we would post it, and we would do videos, and we would talk about the project. But here's the thing: if you don't crowdfund the entire amount, then it doesn't happen. So the goal is for you to get enough people to like source your project, right? To buy into your project for you to actually get the funds. So one of the things that I would do is that I would look at the projects that were about to close out, and let's say they're like $50 from their commitment. I would want to be that person that would like fill in the gaps so that they actually got it.
Oh, you're a
$1
hero.
away. Give them $1.
You're a hero.
But it's
That's
really
cool.
But you know what's really cool is most people surpass their goal. It's really cool. But it's called Backpackers. I think it's called
Awesome. I guess you guys both just kind of enlightened me about something new.
Yeah, crowdfunding. But the one that's called I Woman is really cool because you can also, and in that one too, you can actually put packages. So let's say we had some kind of business, right? And let's say you're an angel investor and you give me $1,000. Well, included in that $1,000 is maybe a workout session with James, a coaching session with Callie, a prosperity session with Tisha. You know what I mean? Like you can include things and you can create like different
that's really cool
steps, if that makes sense. So you can get something in exchange for the funds, basically.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. You almost get people to donate money to your business for you to give away your skills.
It's called Kickstarter. That's what it's called. Kickstarter.
I have to write this down. That sounds really cool, man. Can you imagine? Yeah, you can almost do that with any coaching session. All you have to do is
and then you can use the money to build your business with all the things that are needed.
And so that sounds like it's more of a crowdfunding thing, but you also get benefit because you get to offer your services as a session. So it sort of then contributes to both people, whoever donates. I love that because it makes it a whole thing, a real community thing, and a real contribution to people's value, because then someone else also receives, not just the charity or whatever you're building, but even the people in the flow up to that amount of money, or all receiving, like the ripple going out.
Exactly.
I used to, I don't want to say give them shit, but I used to kind of hear people talk about tease it a little bit. There's a lot of charities and a big part of the portion not going to the actual charity. But in reality, even if the charity, let's say, gives 30% of whatever they raise, and 70% goes to paying people's hourly wages, insurance, all that sort of stuff, right? Well, that's still beneficial because it's giving jobs to people. So that's still circulating the economy. So I used to say, oh, well, it's not all going to the charity, but anything that you put into a nonprofit goes to helping somebody because it's employing people. It's also going to whatever is needed. So it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, all right,
Mhm.
I know we've been off about an hour.
Alrighty. What's your challenge called, Tisha? Just say the name.
Surrender to your success.
And it's in the Prosperity Sisters Facebook page?
Yes, it's in the Prosperity Sisters Facebook group.
And is that an invitation? Is that an invitation to the Facebook group?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So if people want to be invited in, just reach out to one of us on the call or reach out to Tisha and she'll give you the details.
Are you
Yes,
guys still good to talk? You guys are on a
I'm
rush, right?
I'm good for 8 more minutes.
Oh, let's keep talking. I'm sorry, I was just trying to be thoughtful of everybody's time. Yeah, let's keep rocking, man.
And Tisha, what's the end goal for your 5-day challenge? Like, what's the intention for us as participants to get out of the challenge besides success?
So one, I would say that the biggest thing is just clarity on a couple of things. One, what is your biggest money wound? Like, what is the biggest thing getting in the way of that person's relationship with money? The second thing is like an actual solid, clear plan on where to go from there. Whether it is to start maybe investing money, maybe it is to start budgeting. That's a big thing, like maybe budgeting, maybe getting out of debt, right? So having more of a clear strategy to how to get to one of those things and goals. And then the other thing is that for people that have a business, how to structure that. Like, do I need to open a bank account? Like, how do I keep my things separate? Because I think a lot of times we put things together when we're building a business and might have something else, right? Like, how do you clearly set that up so that you have a solid foundation? So those are kind of the things that people will get from that.
Great advice. That's actually, yeah, that's good stuff. It's very valuable. I think with the starting part and people having to realize that what they're creating is an individual entity. It's like making a baby, right? So you have to start taking care of it, like, and prioritizing it over things to ensure, like, you'd always make sure your baby had enough food to eat, but you'd want to make sure your business always had enough resources to stay open.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a big thing too. Like, how much do you keep or how much do you set aside for your business? Like, being able to know those things and know those numbers. So all that will be in there.
Beautiful. Yeah, that would be beneficial for me to have all those numbers, because that's the sort of things I've not really known, like even in just working a 9-to-5 job, and knowing those things would have been helpful to help me even get to the business of what my passion is. So I'm looking forward to it. What else would you be sharing that would really bring someone to the challenge with an opportunity? What opportunities?
Well, there is, everybody also gets the opportunity to actually do their own prosperity planning session. So even outside of the 5 different videos, they actually have the opportunity to sit down with one of our prosperity strategists and actually have somebody hold their hand. I think that's the biggest thing, Callie, is the hand holding that we're going to do, because I think when it comes to money, again, it's so scary. It could just be so scary, and it could be very overwhelming. So to be able to actually have somebody to hold your hand, possibly look at your situation, if that's something somebody feels comfortable with, so that they actually have that bird's eye view on the situation, right? Because sometimes it's like when we're in the situation, we don't know what to do, right? But somebody else that can look at the situation from a neutral standpoint, they can usually help, right? So I would say that's a really big thing, is that that opportunity is open for everybody that registers.
Wow, that's incredible. And you're right, because when you're in it, you don't know which way to go. Like, you don't know who to even ask, or you start asking, and because you're in it, you can't find the right people. Like, you've really then got to go in and start, in a way, praying for the right people, like some sort of a surrender in the moment. But it sounds amazing, and to have that support by one of your team members, or you, because you're incredible. Yeah, that would be amazing. So what a great benefit. Thank you.
You know what I was just thinking right now would be a really cool partnership with the process, because I was thinking about financial wisdom right now in my mind. And I was thinking a lot of people, if they could figure out why they have the habits they have, right? Like if they had some kind of like an energy coach or some sort of, I want to say a healer, because when we heal from the past traumas that cause us to do things we do, like let's say you drink $100 worth of alcohol a week. So you drink it because of some past experience. You resolve that experience, take the $100. Now you have $100 a week to invest, right? So a lot of people are going to have problems. Say, "Oh, I can't come up with the money." Well, they're not willing to give up the things that are preventing them from having the money.
Yeah, good point.
Starbucks, smoking.
Starbucks. What about Coca-Cola?
I think I
Well, you know what?
froze.
No, that's an American.
Yeah, Tisha.
Am I frozen?
Yeah, but we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
You're back. You're back.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be a
Beautiful.
really cool. That'd be a really cool collaboration. That's like just thinking about how people can connect, how they can be. You know, so I also think personalities too is important when you're interacting with people that you're going to potentially partner with, because you don't want too much of you don't want too many procrastinators, you know.
Yeah.
Dreamers are a little procrastinative sometimes. Sometimes you need somebody who's like an introverted task accomplisher.
Yes. And you're right about the pain point with the $100 on a different outcome, because it's so much easier to outreach another option than go in and really feel what the problem is, because when you feel it, it's quite painful. It's a pain point, but sometimes feeling it heals it, most times. And then you've got someone like Tisha that then guides you in the benefits of that $100. And it might sound not much, but that $100 or even $10 eventually over weeks and weeks adds up to something. And you just stay committed to putting that in that pocket and not using it, like in that wherever you place it, and not use it for anything else until it builds.
Yes, right.
Well, thank you. Is there anything else you wish to add, Tisha, about the challenge? Or
Well, I'm really excited about it. And yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited about it.
Well, the cool thing is you have such a huge following already. Hopefully, you get to the process. I mean, you're picking up a lot of attention. That's really good. So I'm not sure you already know, but you're definitely going to build quickly.
I think what helps is all of the amazing people that are supporting and sharing it too, like Callie's been sharing it, James, you've been sharing it, and so it's you guys like that are.
I try to share all my friends' things, like Callie's, yours, a few other people too. It's not how much. I mean, it's a small little gesture, but it's kind of like when your parents go to your little league games or whatever. They're the ones with the cans, I mean, it's just shaking a can, but it makes you feel nice. Someone shaking it, rattling, whatever. So the support's always nice. So if you can, we can't dictate how much support we get. We can always dictate how much support we give, and be a winner at being a giver. That's what I try to say.
I love that.
Why not? Shit.
beautiful.
I'm not going to do Christmas.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you guys. I just want to remind you, I'm sorry. So if you guys are interested, next Sunday, Callie, our law of prosperity is rhythm, law of rhythm.
Ooh, law of rhythm.
Nice.
So should be an interesting topic. Look forward to talking to y'all soon. But y'all have an amazing day. Thanks for hopping on. I always enjoy our conversations. Good friends, good times. Y'all take care.
All right, guys.
Good luck with it, Tisha. You're going to be
Thank
amazing.
you.